Commander Jiho Kim walked slowly across the metal floor of his ship. His boots made quiet sounds with each step. The bridge was full of people working at their computers and screens. Everyone looked worried. "Sir, we got a message," said Minji. "Park." She was sitting at the communications desk. Her voice was shaking a little. "It's from Research Station Omega-7. Jiho stopped walking. Research Station Omega-7 was where his friend Dr. Lee worked. They studied how to make dead planets good. For people to live on, it was peaceful work. Important work. "Put it on the main screen," Jiho said. The big screen in front of them turned on. Dr. Lee's face appeared. He looked scared. Behind him, red lights were flashing everywhere. People were running around. "Commander Kim, we need help right now," Dr. Lee said quickly. "Unknown ships just appeared near our station. They're huge. They won't answer when we try to talk to them." Suddenly the screen went white. Then it went black. Nothing. "Dr. Lee? Dr. Lee, can you hear me?" Minji called into her microphone. No answer came back. Jiho felt cold inside his chest. "Try the other stations. Try Colony Beta 9 and New Sol Station." Minji's fingers moved fast on her keyboard. She tried to call the other human settlements in this part of space. Nothing. "All quiet, sir," said Lieutenant Yunwoo Lee from his desk. "I'm getting readings from long-range sensors. There are big explosions where our colonies used to be." The bridge became very quiet. Everyone stopped working and looked at their commander. Jiho stared at the black screen where his friend's face had been just minutes ago. "How many people?" Jiho asked quietly. "Research Station Omega-7 had about 8,000 people," Hyunwoo said. His voice was barely loud enough to hear. "Colony Beta 9 had 12,000. New Sol Station had 15,000. 35,000 people. Gone. Just like that." "Sir, there's something else," Minji said. "We're getting a new signal. It's coming from the alien ships. Put it through." The screen turned on again. This time a strange creature appeared. It was tall and had gray skin. It had 6 arms and eyes that looked like black stones. When it spoke, a computer changed its words into human language. "Weak humans of the small earth," the creature said. Its voice sounded like metal scraping against metal. "I am war leader Thukhai of the great Kethvar people. Your kind is now under our rule." The alien held up one of its 6 hands. In it was something that looked like a human head. Jiho felt sick. "We have destroyed 3 of your settlements," Thukhai continued. "This is what happens when lesser species try to take what belongs to the Kethvar. You have 30 of your Earth days to surrender. Give us control of all your worlds. Give us your ships. Give us your people to work for us." The creature's black eyes seemed to look right at Jiho through the screen. "If you do not surrender, we will visit every human world. We will turn them all into space dust, just like your research stations. We have done this to 47 other species. They all chose to live as our slaves rather than die. You will make the same choice." The screen went black again. Nobody on the bridge moved for a long time. Jiho could hear the quiet sounds of the ship's engines. He could hear people breathing, but nobody spoke. Finally, Hyunwoo asked, "What do we do, sir?" Jiho thought about Dr. Lee. They had been friends since they were young. Dr. Lee had a wife and 2 children back on Earth. Now he was dead. Killed for no reason except that aliens wanted to scare humans. He thought about the 15,000 families on New Sol Station. Parents, children, grandparents. All dead because they happened to be in the wrong place when monsters decided to make a point. "Sir?" Minji asked. "Should I send a message back to them?" Jiho looked around at his crew. These were good people, smart people, people who had joined Earth's space fleet to explore new worlds and help other species. They had never expected to fight a war, but the Kethvar had made a big mistake. They thought humans were weak because humans tried to talk before fighting. They thought humans would be scared because other species got scared. They were wrong. "Send a message to Earth Command," Jiho said quietly. "Tell them what happened here. Tell them the Kethvar just killed 35,000 innocent people." "What should I say about responding to their demands?" Minji asked. Jiho looked at the black screen where the alien had threatened his entire species. Tell Earth Command that the Kethvar wanted to see what humans look like when we're angry. They're about to find out. He turned to face his crew. And Minji, don't send any reply to the aliens. Let them wait. Let them wonder why we're not begging for mercy like the other species did. Yes, sir. As his ship turned toward Earth, Jiho knew that everything was about to change. The Kethvar thought they had won an easy victory. They had no idea they had just woken up the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Admiral Sunho Choi stood in the big meeting room on Earth. The room was full of important people from all the human worlds. Everyone looked serious. The lights were dim, and big screens showed maps of space around them. The aliens think they scared us, Sunho said to the group. His voice was calm, but his eyes were angry. They looked at our history. They saw that we like to talk before we fight. They saw that we help other species when they have problems. They think this makes us weak. Defense Minister Yuna Shin sat at the big table. What do you want to do, Admiral? I want to show them what humans really look like when someone hurts our families, Sunho said. The Kethvar have never seen us fight a real war. No one has. That was a good thing for them. Now it's over. The room was quiet for a moment. Everyone knew what this meant. How long do we have? Asked General Taewon from the Mars colonies. The aliens gave us 30 days to surrender, Sunho said. We're going to use those 30 days to get ready. When we're done, they're going to wish they never heard of humans. Yuna pressed a button on the table. Send out code red to all human worlds. Total war preparation. Now. Within 1 hour, everything changed. On Mars, Captain Yoon Bi-han watched from her office window as the big shipbuilding yard started working faster than ever before. Huge machines moved everywhere. Sparks flew as workers cut and welded metal. The peaceful mining ships that brought rocks from asteroids were being changed into warships. Ma'am, said Lieutenant Do-Yun Park, running into her office. The orders are coming in faster than we can read them. Every civilian ship in the system is being called back for changes. Yunbi nodded. The peaceful explorer. What's happening to her? They're putting weapons on her, ma'am, big ones. Her mining lasers are being replaced with military-grade guns. Her cargo holds are being filled with missiles. Through her window, Yunbi could see the peaceful explorer. Just yesterday, it was Gao, a simple ship that collected ice from comets to bring water to the colonies. Now workers were covering it with thick metal armor. New engines were being attached to make it faster. On Europa, Dr. Minho Kang got a message on his computer. His research ship, Gentle Current, was being called back to port immediately. For 5 years, he had used that ship to study fish in Europa's dark ocean. The ship had special equipment to look at tiny sea creatures without hurting them. Sir, his assistant Hyejin said, they want to turn our research equipment into military sensors. Our underwater cameras can be changed to find enemy ships hiding in space. Minho felt sad but also proud. His peaceful work was going to help protect other humans. Do it, he said. If the Kethvar won a war, we'll give them one they'll never forget. All across the solar system, the same thing was happening. On the moon, factories that made furniture and clothes stopped their normal work. Now they were making uniforms and equipment for soldiers. The big space stations that grew food for the Y. Colonies started growing extra food for a long war. On Earth, millions of people got messages on their phones. Report to your nearest military center, the messages said. Your planet needs you. But something strange happened. The government expected maybe half the people to answer the call. Instead, almost everyone came. Old people who had fought in small wars before, young people who had never held a weapon, scientists, teachers, doctors, factory workers. They all remembered the pictures from the destroyed research stations. 35,000 people killed for no reason. In the city of Seoul, Boyoung Lee closed her flower shop and walked to the military center. She had never been in the army, but she knew how to fix computers. I can help, she told the soldier at the desk. In New York, Sang-Yun Park left his job as a lawyer. I know how to organize people, he said. Use me however you need. The Kethvar had spies watching human space. They expected to see scared people running away. They expected to see chaos and panic. Instead, they saw something that confused them. Every human ship was moving with perfect organization. Supply ships carried exactly what was needed to exactly the right places. Worker ships moved together like pieces of a clock. It was like humans had practiced this many times before. How are they doing this? War leader Thokai asked his intelligence officer on the Kethvar command ship. Unknown, war leader, came the answer. It appears they had plans ready for total war mobilization, very detailed plans. What the Kethvar didn't know was that humans had been making these plans for 50 years. Ever since humans first met other species in space, military planners had asked, what if we need to fight for our survival? The plans were hidden in government computers. Most humans didn't even know they existed. But when the button was pushed, everything moved like a perfect machine. Admiral Sunho stood on Luna Station and watched thousands of ships moving through space. Some were warships, some were supply ships, some were troop carriers. All of them were heading toward the edge of human space. Sir, his aide said, the Kethvar sent another message. They're asking why we haven't surrendered yet. Sunho smiled, but it wasn't a happy smile. Don't answer them, let them wonder. In 28 days, they'll get their answer. The Kethvar supply ship Teeth of Dominion was flying through space carrying food and weapons to alien soldiers. Captain Vorth was not worried. His ship was big and strong. It had thick armor and powerful guns. No enemy had ever attacked a Kethvar supply convoy before. Jump complete, said his navigator. We should reach the battle fleet in 6 hours. Captain, Vorth looked at his screens. Everything looked normal. Empty space, distant stars, nothing dangerous. He did not know that human ships were already watching him. 3 hours later, the Teeth of Dominion simply stopped existing. No explosion, no fire, no pieces floating in space. 1 second it was there, the next second it was gone. War leader Thokai stood in his command center reading reports. His 6 arms moved nervously as he looked at the numbers. 17 supply ships missing in the last month. 43 mining stations had stopped sending messages. Communication towers across 3 star systems were broken. Where are the human fleets? He shouted at his intelligence officer. We know they have ships. Our spies saw them building warships. Where are they hiding? We don't know, war leader, the officer said, his voice shaking. Our sensors see nothing. It's like ghosts are attacking us. Far away, Colonel Minho Kang was hiding his ship Silent Storm behind a big asteroid. His ship looked like a rock on enemy sensors. The humans had learned this trick while exploring dangerous parts of space where pirates lived. Target found, whispered Lieutenant Hyejin from her seat. It's an automated mining platform. No alien soldiers on it, just robots. Minho nodded. The human plan was simple but smart. Don't fight the alien army directly. Instead, destroy everything. The army needed to survive. No food, no fuel, no weapons, no supplies. Move in quietly, Minho ordered. Hit it fast and leave nothing working. The Silent Storm flew toward the mining platform like a hunting cat. The platform's computers never saw it coming. Human weapons, originally designed to cut through asteroid rock, easily destroyed the alien machinery. Platform destroyed, Hyejin reported. No distress signal sent. Good. Mark another target off our list. This was happening everywhere in Kethvar space. Human ships appeared like ghosts. Destroyed something important, then disappeared again. The aliens never saw them coming and never knew where they went. Captain Yunbi Han commanded a group of 5 human ships near the alien border. Her ships had been passenger liners just 2 months ago, carrying families between Earth colonies for vacations. Now they were hunters. Quiet dawn to all ships, she said into her radio. Enemy convoy spotted. 3 cargo ships with 2 guard ships. Begin attack pattern 7. The human ships spread out in space. They moved so quietly that the alien sensors couldn't find them. The Kethvar guard ships were looking for big, noisy warships like their own people built. They weren't looking for small, silent ships that used to carry tourists. The alien convoy died in less than 10 minutes. The human ships fired once each, then vanished back into the darkness of space. On the Kethvar homeworld, the alien leaders were getting scared. War leader Thokai called an emergency meeting. "They're not fighting us," he said to the other war leaders. "They're killing us slowly. Every day we lose more supplies, more equipment, more ways to communicate with our fleets. Send more guard ships to protect the convoys," suggested war leader Krex. "We tried that. The guard ships disappear too. Then we hunt them down and destroy them. How? We can't find them. They attack and vanish like smoke." The truth was that humans were fighting in a way the Kethvar had never seen before. The aliens always fought by gathering huge fleets and smashing into their enemies with overwhelming force. They won by being bigger and stronger and more violent. But humans had spent years exploring dangerous parts of space. They had learned to hide from space pirates and hostile aliens. They had learned to move quietly and strike quickly. They had learned to survive by being smart, not just strong. Lieutenant Commander Hyunwoo Lee sat in his small ship, watching a Kethvar military base from far away. The base was built on an asteroid and protected by weapon towers and shield generators. "Shadow strike to command," he whispered into his radio. "Target confirmed. Beginning approach." His ship was so small and quiet that the alien defenses never noticed it. Hyunwoo flew right past the weapon towers. The computer programs controlling the towers were looking for big enemy warships, not tiny scout vessels. Once he was inside the base's defenses, Hyunwoo attached small bombs to important equipment: power generators, communication arrays, weapon, control computers. Then he flew away just as quietly as he had arrived. 20 minutes later, the base went dark. No power, no communications, no weapons. The alien soldiers inside were trapped and helpless. "Another one down," Hyunwoo reported. "The Kethvar won't be using this base to coordinate their fleets anymore." Across alien space, the same thing was happening hundreds of times every day. Human ships struck like lightning and disappeared like mist. The mighty Kethvar war machine was being taken apart piece by piece. War leader Thokai stared at his status reports. Half of his supply lines were gone. A third of his communication network was destroyed. His fleet commanders were starting to panic because they couldn't get food or fuel or ammunition. "How long? Can this continue?" he asked his aide. "At this rate, war leader, our military will collapse within 6 months. We won't be able to fight anyone, much less the humans." Thokai felt cold fear in his chest. The humans weren't trying to defeat the Kethvar in battle. They were trying to make it impossible for the Kethvar to fight at all. And it was working. War leader Thokai stood in the emergency meeting room with the other Kethvar leaders. Everyone looked scared. The big war maps on the walls showed red marks everywhere: destroyed bases, missing ships, broken supply lines. "We must make peace with the humans," said Counselor Vextar. His 6 arms were shaking. "Offer them money. Give them some of our planets. Whatever they want." Thokai didn't want to surrender, but he knew they were losing badly. In 4 months, the humans had destroyed 60% of their military supplies. Kethvar soldiers were running out of food and fuel. "Send the message," Thokai said quietly. "Tell the humans we want to talk." The surrender message reached Admiral Taewon Jung on his command ship Retribution. He read it once, then gave it to his intelligence officer, Commander Jiwon Nam. "They want to negotiate," Taewon said. "They're offering us 3 star systems in payment for the people they killed." Jiwon looked at the message and made an angry face. "Sir, they murdered 60,000 innocent people. Scientists, families, children. Now they think they can just pay us and make it go away?" Taewon crushed the message in his hand. "Send a reply to all human fleet commanders. Operation Final Judgment starts now." The human response was not words. It was action. On the Kethvar homeworld, the planetary defense computers suddenly stopped working. The big guns that protected the planet from attack simply turned off. The force fields around military bases disappeared. Space stations lost power and went dark. "What's happening?" Thokai shouted at his technicians. "We don't know, war leader. It's like our computers are being controlled by someone else." What Thokai didn't know was that human spy programs had been hiding inside Kethvar computer systems for months. While the aliens were busy fighting the human ships they could see, human computer experts had been quietly taking control of the systems they couldn't see. Captain Boyoung Lee commanded the human ship Justice Bringer as it approached the Kethvar. Military planet Corex 7. The planet's weapons were supposed to be very dangerous, but they weren't shooting at her ship. Planetary defenses are offline, reported her weapons officer, Lieutenant Sang-hyun Park. Our computer teams did their job well. Good. Begin landing the troops. But something strange was happening on Corex 7. The human soldiers who landed on the planet found empty military bases. No Kethvar soldiers were there to fight them. "Where is everyone?" asked Sergeant Dong-Yun Kim as his team searched an abandoned weapons factory. "Sir," said one of his soldiers, "I'm getting radio messages from civilian areas. They're thanking us for evacuating their families." Dong-Yun was confused. "Evacuating? We didn't evacuate anyone." Then he understood. Other human teams had been on this planet for weeks, secretly moving alien civilians to safety before the attack began. The humans had been protecting the very people that the Kethvar leaders had been willing to sacrifice. This was happening on every Kethvar world. Human forces would arrive to find military installations empty, and civilians already moved to safe places. The Kethvar army was being destroyed, but alien families were being kept safe. General Seojin Park coordinated the attack on the Kethvar capital system from his command ship. He watched his screens as Kethvar military bases surrendered one after another. "Sir," said his aide, "the enemy is asking how we moved their civilians without them knowing." "Tell them that we don't make war on children and families," Seojin replied. "We fight soldiers and the people who give soldiers orders. That's the difference between us and them." War leader Thokhai was getting desperate. In his panic, he sent a message to his remaining fleet commanders. "Destroy the civilian colonies in Sector 7. If we can't have them, the humans can't either." But when the Kethvar ships arrived at the colonies, they found them empty. Human evacuation ships had removed every civilian days before. "How?" Thokhai whispered. "How did they know what we were planning?" His intelligence officer looked embarrassed. "War leader, it appears the humans have been reading our secret communications for months. They knew what orders you would give before you gave them." On the bridge of her ship, Admiral Minji Kang watched the last Kethvar military fleet surrender. The aliens had finally realized they couldn't win. "Admiral," said her communications officer, "we're getting surrender signals from their remaining bases. They want to discuss terms." "No discussions," Minji said firmly. "Unconditional surrender only. They started this war by killing innocent people. They don't get to negotiate how it ends." Across Kethvar space, alien military leaders were learning what total defeat felt like. Their weapons didn't work. Their ships had no fuel. Their computers obeyed human commands instead of theirs. But the most frightening thing was how the humans had protected alien civilians, even while destroying the alien military. The Kethvar had been ready to kill their own people to deny the human strategic advantage. The humans had risked their own soldiers to save those same people. "They're not like us," Counselor Vextar said quietly. "They fight with honor. They protect the weak, even when the weak are their enemies." Thokhai stared out at the human ships surrounding his home world. The ships could have destroyed every city on the planet, but they were only targeting military installations. "We thought they were weak because they tried to make peace," he said. "We were wrong. They're strong enough to make war and wise enough to know when to show mercy." The age of Kethvar dominance was ending. The humans had won not just with superior tactics and technology, but with something the Kethvar had never understood: the power of fighting for what was right instead of just fighting to win. Administrator Boyoung Lee walked through the huge throne room where Kethvar leaders used to make their cruel decisions. The room was built to make visitors feel small and scared. Giant stone walls reached up to the dark ceiling. Strange, alien symbols covered everything, symbols that meant obey or die. Now the room was different. Human workers had set up simple desks and computers. The scary alien throne was gone, replaced by a normal judge's bench. Today, this room would see justice instead of cruelty. "Bring in the prisoners," Boyoung said to the guards. War leader Thokhai walked into the room with his hands tied behind his back. 6 months ago, he had been one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. He had commanded fleets that destroyed entire planets. Now he looked small and defeated. Behind him came the other Kethvar war leaders who had ordered the attack. On human colonies, they all looked afraid. Judge Advocate General Sanghyun Park sat at the bench wearing his formal uniform. He had spent weeks studying the evidence of what these aliens had done. War leader Thokhai, Sanghyun said in a calm voice, "You are charged with the murder of 60,000 innocent humans. You destroyed research stations and civilian colonies without warning. You killed scientists, families, and children who had never hurt anyone." Thokhai said nothing. What could he say? He had done these things. How do you answer these charges? Sanghyun asked. Guilty, Thokhai said quietly. We thought you were weak. We thought killing your people would make you surrender. We were wrong about everything. The other Kethvar leaders also said they were guilty. They knew that lying would not help them now. The tribunal finds all defendants guilty of war, crimes against innocent civilians, Sanghyun announced. You will be sent to prison colonies where you will spend the rest of your lives thinking about what you did. You will work to help rebuild the worlds your wars destroyed. Thokhai looked up at the human judge. You could have killed us all, he said with wonder in his voice. Your weapons, your ships, your tactics, you could have destroyed our entire species. Boyoung stepped forward. That would have made us like you, she said firmly. Instead, we chose to make you like us, civilized. This was happening all across the old Kethvar Empire. Human administrators were working with local alien populations to build new governments. Instead of kings and war leaders, the alien worlds were learning about voting and elections and fair laws. On the former military world of Korek 7, Captain Isul Han was helping aliens set up their first democratic government. The same aliens, who had been soldiers just months ago, were now learning to be citizens. I don't understand, said former Commander Grixtal. In our old system, the strongest person gave orders to everyone else. How does this voting thing work? Everyone gets to have a say, Isul explained patiently. Rich or poor, strong or weak, everyone's opinion matters equally. Then you count all the votes and do what most people want. Grixtal shook his head in amazement. You humans have strange ideas, but I think I like them. The huge weapons factories that had built Kethvar warships were being changed into something better. Instead of making guns and bombs, they were now making schools and hospitals and homes for alien families who had lost everything in the wars. Dr. Minho Kang, who had once studied fish in Europa's oceans, was now helping design new medical centers on former Kethvar worlds. It's better than my old job, he told his assistant. Instead of studying sea creatures, I'm helping save lives. The galaxy was watching everything that happened. Other alien species had seen humans destroy the mighty Kethvar Empire in just 6 months. They had seen human ships that could appear and disappear like ghosts. They had seen human computers take control of enemy systems from across space. But most importantly, they had seen humans show mercy to a defeated enemy. Ambassador Donghyun Kim stood before the Galactic Council for the first time since the war began. Representatives from hundreds of alien species sat in the Great Chamber, all looking at him with a mixture of fear and respect. The Kethvar attacked our colonies and murdered our people, Donghyun said calmly. They expected us to surrender, or die. Instead, we chose a third option. We removed their ability to ever hurt anyone again. He looked around the chamber at all the alien faces watching him. Let this be a lesson to everyone, he continued. Humanity wants peace. We want to explore space, learn new things, and help other species solve their problems. But we will never again allow murderers to threaten innocent lives anywhere in the galaxy. An alien delegate from the Zorth Republic raised one of his 4 hands. What if other species challenge human power? Donghyun's expression became very serious. Test our resolve at your own risk. We showed the Kethvar what happens when you make humans angry. We prefer not to get angry again. The chamber was completely silent. Every alien there understood the message. Humans were not conquerors who wanted to rule the galaxy, but they were also not victims who would allow themselves to be bullied. On Earth, Admiral Sunho Choi looked at reports from across human space. The threat was over. The Kethvar military was gone forever. Alien worlds were learning to live in peace, sir, His aide asked. What do we do now? Sunho smiled. Now we go back to what humans do best. We explore. We learn. We help people. But we stay ready, just in case someone else decides to test us. The age of Kethvar terror was over. The age of human protection had begun, and the galaxy was safer because of it.